Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frags.
This is Real Talk with George and Frazier. What's going on, brother?
Not much, baby. Doing good. This is what day? Thursday? Oh, yes, right, Thursday.
No, he's sitting there. Look, but we got heat too in New Jersey. How about that? See, I'm rocking the t-shirt. You know what
What's
I'm
up, baby? What's up, baby?
saying? Too
What's doing
funny.
that, man?
Too funny. Listen, man, we got a banger. Another banger. We have Mrs. Jacqueline, excuse me, Greely. She
Get it
is
right. I messed up one time. They don't mess like I did. So you gotta get it right this time.
wait, hold on, Frazier. I'm trained, man. I'm trained. Let me just get through the introduction. All right. So we have Mrs. Jacqueline Greely with us. She's a life coach and also a sexuality coach. And we're going to bring her in the show right now. Welcome to
Hey,
Real
hey,
Talk.
how you
Hey, how are you?
You're
We're
doing
doing great.
good.
Thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Just have the fans and the listeners tell you a little bit about your bio. Every time Frazier and I try to do it, we mess it up.
You kill it. You kill it.
Not a problem. First of all, it's Miss. No ring on this finger yet. So,
Okay,
it's
okay.
Miss
Again.
Jacqueline
Okay.
Greely.
Again.
Okay. I told you I mess up.
Not a problem. But thank you again so much for inviting me to your show. I am Jacqueline Greely, go by Coach Jax, Jacqueline J, whatever. I am a healer. That is primarily my first gift that I was born with. And so I use that in many ways to help women to love themselves, to heal themselves, to be free in their sexuality, and to embrace that. And so I am new to the sexuality coach arena, but I was that kid growing up that was, watching Real Sex on HBO and um, reading about STDs and the human body. Like I just loved all of that because I enjoyed learning about human sexuality, human thought, behaviors, and patterns. And so I was that person that most of my friends went to ask about, you know, sex things. And I was very open as a child. I was very in tune with my nature. And so it wasn't uncomfortable for me.
Mhm.
I just didn't know how to turn that into a career. So I went through life. I went to school with a counseling background. I have a master's in public administration. I work a full-time job, but I am in the space now to be doing what I love, which is
Nice.
empowering women. So that's very small bio, but that's where I am today.
No, look, we
Nice.
definitely appreciate it. Do
Well,
appreciate the
definitely.
transparency because every time you talk about sex and sexuality, it's a curse word, it's a profanity. Spit it
Yeah.
out. It's taboo, based
Don't
on
do it.
religious preference, based on societal preference, just based on a lot of different things. And what what I know as an adult and being a parent too is the fact that a lot of kids and young adults struggle with it. And so the
Yeah.
habits that you have then, that good habits, bad habits, and different habits, you still carry with you as an adult. And
Right, you
sometimes it could
do.
be
Yep.
sometimes that could be detrimental in a marriage relationship because your perception of what a healthy sexual relationship is only based on things that aren't healthy, whether it be pornography, whether it be anything else that you find out there. So um, how do you deal with that? In other words, how do you untrain some of that type of behavior?
First of all, when I'm working with a client, we don't even talk about sex first, right? Like we talk about them. Like, who do you see yourself as? What do you have for your life? What are your dreams, your goals, your aspirations? And so, as we start to uncover some of the trauma that they may have had growing up, they realize, okay, because this happened to me, it affects how I relate in relationships. And so sometimes they may be curious about something, and maybe pornography was the only avenue that they had, and so they learned how to relate in that manner. And so going back and healing some of those traumas first, like, okay, you're not a bad person, this is what happened to you, it doesn't It doesn't mean that's who you are.
Mhm.
And then once we've gone through the process of healing themselves or working through a trauma that'll allow them to move forward, then we start talking about, what are your curiosities? What are your fantasies? What do you think about them? I have women who, they want to have multiple partners. They want to try certain things in the bedroom with their partner that they either don't know how to communicate or they've tried to be themselves authentically, but their partner is like, I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Right.
You want me to do what? And so,
Yeah.
and so it's really working on the inner first before you really start to talk about what the sex needs are, because that's really only a piece of the issue.
Yeah.
It's really not about sex. It's really not. It's about being comfortable with yourself and who you are and what you define as pleasure
Yeah.
and how you go about getting what you desire.
True.
Right. Because I know that, hold on, Fraser. I know that some people even consider pain pleasurable, and pain
Yeah.
has to be, um, pain has to be part of the process. And, I have a, I
So
have a, I have a saying, just real quick. My grandmaster always had a saying: "Pain is the best instructor, but nobody wants to take its class." So I look at that just strictly from a martial arts fighting kind of mentality, not like I want to rest and relax and you know
Yeah.
have battery cables charged to my nipples. No,
I know,
I don't
right?
do all that. That's what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Craziness.
ironically enough, one of my niche area, not I don't even want to say it's a niche area, but it's one of my areas of interest is kink and BDSM. And it's not just the aspect of pain being part of pleasure, but it's a different love language. It's a different love style. And it can be exploratory. It can be enlightening. What we see on TV is not really, it's
Yeah.
probably 15% of what the kink BDSM
Yeah.
world is. And a lot of time people can, speaking of the pain, a lot of people can process their trauma through going through experiencing certain sensations,
Hmm.
and they come to realize, okay, you know, they can turn it around. Like,
Right.
I used to be, not me personally, but I used to be, you know, um, beaten as a child, but I find some type of pleasure of it. Okay, so what does that mean? Like we're going to work
Right.
through that,
Yeah.
and then they may find like, okay, no, I really do like that, and I can process that healthily, right,
Yeah.
and not always think like, oh, I see some chains. Now I'm thinking about slavery.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Exactly.
you
I was in the
you
same
might
thing.
like the sensation of the coolness on your skin. You might like the heaviness.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily mean that anything is wrong with you for enjoying those things. There's always an extreme with everything,
Yeah.
right? So there are some people who take it to the extreme, but practicing kink and BDSM in a healthy way in a safe community is absolutely normal.
Well, I would say like this. I was in research before, and it was saying that some women who had had trauma event happen, say like rape, something like whatever, are usually most likely to go into the explore more toward the avenue because of what they've been through, and because they don't want to say they enjoyed it because it wasn't a person they really liked or a person they really
Right.
prefer to be with, but they do explore it with people that actually enjoy it. And if some men find it very uncomfortable, due to the fact of the matter, they don't want to bring the event back because some women flash back. Certain thing you do can trigger a reaction to make them think what happened back then, or you talk
Flashback.
in a
Yeah.
certain way, or you grab them a certain way, or whatever. They flash back immediately, go back to that shelter stage. Like, how do you get women to understand the difference between that event versus actually enjoying it with somebody you actually want to be with?
That's a great question. So, the main thing about BDSM and kink that people don't tend to think about is that the very first thing is consent.
Gotcha.
You need to be in a, you need to give consent to have someone do something to you that may look like they're harming you. They may be harming you, but
Yeah.
you may be giving consent for that. Communication. There's a term in BDSM called negotiation. When you are in a relationship, a dynamic, if you're just doing something that's called pickup play, um, I'm going to talk to you first and say, hey, I like this, this, and this. What do
Right.
you do? What do you like? As far as those that have been assaulted, as you know, at any point in their life, and they're processing that through this lifestyle, one, having to realize like what happened to you was a loss of your control. Someone took control over you. In a healthy situation, you can say, okay, I have control over this. And a lot of people, a lot of men and women have consent, non-consent acts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
Oh yeah, we'll talk.
Done to them, and they are in control of it, right? Like they can say, I have this fantasy, I have this desire, but they're doing it with someone that they trust. So if they say their safe word, if they say, or if their body changes and that person that they're with understands that, okay, they have a trauma, they're not like they're tensing up. They're
Right.
not being verbal. So doing something so risky with someone, they need to be able to understand your triggers. They need to be able to understand what is happening to your body physically to say, okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to, take control of the situation to make sure that you're okay.
Right.
Some people, some women or men may they may try to get revenge on the person that assaulted them. And so that can, I'm not sure if that's something that would be done in a healthy way, but
Yeah.
you never really understand or know people's reasons for doing certain things. And you have to talk to people, right? Like, I'm not going to just go up to you and be like, hey, yo, Frazier. So let's go do this. And I know nothing about you. You know what I mean? You know nothing about me. I'm not going to go tell a random person on the street that I've been assaulted and I need to, work through this. Will you, beat me?
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna find a safe community, right? I'm gonna find a safe space of people, of like-minded people who and the other thing about kink BDSM is that it's a very, I'm not saying it's a very safe place, but because you are in a high risk environment many of the times, people are very skilled at CPR, at mental health issues and awareness. I am serious. You have to be. You have to be. And, you have to, if you're going to be using some type of implement like a flogger or a whip, you need to know how to throw that. Because if you hit too hard and you get a welt, that person, that may trigger someone or someone, and anybody can be kinky. Anybody can be a part of the lifestyle. It could be, a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer, a garbage person.
Yeah.
And so if they're in an environment where people are seeing welts and bruises on their body, that can bring up a whole nother, realm of discussions. But to bring it back to the non-consent acts, it as a sexuality coach, I'm not a therapist. So there are some things that I am not qualified to talk about or work with them with, or I feel comfortable doing. As a sexuality coach, I am helping them to identify where some of these trigger points are, providing them resources for them to, but also encouraging them to, hey, sis, go get some therapy, because in order for you to be whole, in order for you to be able to have the life that you want to live, there are some things that you need to work through that are deeper than just, I want to, do something kinky. It's a little bit deeper than that. And as their friend, as their peer, as their coach, it would be I would be not in doing my job if I try to take that responsibility on and just not offer them that resources to eat to get fully whole.
Right.
Got you.
What are some of the main issues you're seeing with your client? Like, what are they coming to you for?
Lately I've been having some of my clients are feeling, so most of my clients are over 40. And then I throw my sister in there because she trusts me, and she'll ask me questions, and I have to kind of switch my brain, like, okay, this is my sister asking, so let me talk from a clinical standpoint.
Yeah.
But most of my clients are over 40, and so it's a lot of a lot of our conversations about dating, the dating pool right now, how to navigate dating in a pandemic, dating on social media, through dating apps, not being satisfied sexually. Women who are over, I'm going to say over 40 and even 50, as you get older, your body changes. And so, what what you and your partner did for the past 20 years, every Wednesday night after dinner, missionary, and we go to bed and we wake up and do the same thing the next day, that gets old, right? And so my clients are wanting to learn new things to keep not just their relationship spicy, but for them to feel empowered. Like, they may have gone through body changes from pregnancy or weight loss or weight gain, and they're not feeling, secure in their bodies. And so the conversations of how can I have my pleasure when I'm going through these life changes, and being open to, kink and BDSM, or swinging, or bringing multiple partners in their bedroom, or using sex toys, or whatever with their partner, having conversations with their partner that says, I love you, but I want to explore this. Are you willing to do that with me? Sometimes the hard part is having those conversations with them, having their conversations with their partner, is that their partner is not open to exploring with them. And so then they have to have the conversation that, well, I may have to go outside. Are you okay with that? And some of their partners are like, okay, but we have to discuss the boundaries about that.
Right.
Is it going to be, are you going to experiment with the girl, with the woman? Are you going to experiment with the man, with both? Is it going to be somebody that I know? The beauty of what I do is that I can hold the space for women to kind of get these thoughts out of their head, and in an open space where they can say, okay, I have all this stuff in my head. Now I have it out in front of me. What do I really want? Do I want to try it all? Do I just want to try this? Do I want to try that? What does that say about me? And going through the process of saying, your life is your own. It's no one, you don't have to get anyone's permission to live your life. And for a lot of us, especially Black women, we're not given that space to do that. We're either beholden to our husbands or our wives or our families, our kids, our work, our church, and we become, seventh on the rung of the ladder. Yeah. And it's my responsibility to show them, okay, you need to be up on that ladder. You need to be putting yourself first. That's not saying, forget everybody else, but it's saying, if you're not okay, no one else is okay. Right? And so that's kind of what I'm working with through my clients, and just, my friends who know me. I get random DMs like, okay, Jack, so what about...
Well, tell
okay, but you gotta pay me for that session, but here's a tip.
Too funny.
Oh, okay. I got one for you though. This is a question that most people, they ask a question that most men ask issue with at a cerern point. They talk about women changes. some men don't know how the women change because we don't know that woman body. We don't understand the mood swings and stuff. Like one woman, at one point, like you say, be screaming sexual. Then one point she be screaming not. Then one point she go back to screaming sexual. One point screaming not. Where men, we are 2 steps. We are screaming, we're not. Then we maybe get back later on. You know, like, and then once I would ask the question is, when a woman goes to menopause, that's the most important because most men are now in that peak of we want every day. They like, don't touch me, woman. You touch me, nigga. I don't want to do that. So how do you get the women to understand both sides of the picture? And we're still willing to explore that, even though they may not be physically or mentally want to do it.
So I think that one, as a woman's body is changing, her hormones are changing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Her body is going through a transformation from being a life bearer to I believe that the term is called a crone, but it's a woman who just is in that menopausal stage.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself brings a whole different kind of perspective. She may be feeling like, okay, I have the freedom to make my own decisions because maybe her children are all grown.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just a grandmother. She has an empty nest. And so she's able to start working out. She's able to eat different, So yes, the emotions are changing. Communication is key. Sometimes you men don't understand even if you don't say something, the way you look.
Yeah.
If you say, I want to try, let's do something with anal play. Yeah. Or let's do something with, let's bring, your homeboy Frank in. You may not say no, but your face is like, shut down.
That's right. Say it all. My face said it all. Hey, look at here.
That's not happening.
Both faces.
It may not be. It may
you
not
want
be
Frank?
what you
Go ahead.
say.
Do it, Frank. Let Frank take some of this financial weight I'm dealing with. That's right. Take the weight off me. It may not be
what you say, but it is how you react. And so I think the conversations, understanding where each person is, and yes, that may be a line in the sand for some men. Like, oh, you want to, I'm not satisfying you. You're not. It could be a line in the sand, and that may make that woman feel like, okay, well, I tried, and that may shut her down. And again, it could just, there's so many different ways that this can go, but just like women change, men change, and you have to remember that what you agree to with this person, with your mate, if your partner's in this life, you should be able to share your deepest, darkest secrets, fantasies, whatever. If you're not comfortable with that, it should be okay to say, I'm not comfortable with that. Not everything is for everybody, right? And I think we're in a society where we're kind of forced to accept that. And the reality is that not everything is for everybody. And we shouldn't be made to feel like it's the fad, it's the trend, it's, it's the PR thing to say. No. Because we're our own individual person, self, being with feelings and emotions. And so menopause, yes, that's a moment in a woman's life. She may be feeling like I'm not being satisfied, and she's looking to her mate to be able to do that for her. But she should also be able to be in a space where she can explore, or to be able to say, honey, You're not holding up. You're not holding up the end of the pocket.
It's time to get the blue pill, baby.
Hey, get two of them. Look two now. And
look at here.
Red Bull in there too now because they working.
So our last question really is, what tips do you have for somebody who is going through something, doesn't know what they're going through, but how do I say this? Still wants to be sexually active, just don't know if they can be sexually active. Like, what tips do you have to start that exploratory process?
So I first start with you have to know yourself first. So I am a big proponent of self-love. I think we start learning about our bodies at 3, 4 years old. And if we're not taught in a healthy way how to express those feelings that we feel, because we're humans, people. Exactly. We're humans, and as we get older and we go through certain things, when we see a child exploring themselves, it's weird. It's gross. Don't do that. But children need to be able to express themselves in a healthy manner. These are your breasts. This is your vagina. This is your penis. Use technical terms, right? Okay. And this is what happens when it's touched it's touch. Teach them between good touch and bad touch, right? From, my niece knows early on, this is her flower, that's daddy's stem. We don't touch those parts unless, no one touch those parts unless they're washing you and it's your mom, dad, grandma teaching, right? Like you don't, and telling and teaching kids how to have that autonomy over their bodies and to be able to express when someone other than those people who are told, they're allowed to touch them in a healthy way, do so outside of those bounds. As we get older, we want to learn about sex in private, right? It's not something that we, post on Facebook. Hey, y'all, I need some tips on this. Right. We are questioning in private. And then, I found out about kink and BDSM on the internet, and I didn't realize Black people did it. Yeah. And so it was like, but it wasn't until I was in my 20s when I learned this. I had thoughts about things, but I didn't know. But it was certain experiences that I had that I was like, okay, I like that. But you won't know what you like unless you try it on yourself first. Yeah. Or someone does it to you. And that, that can be in a consensual relationship or a non-consensual relationship. And so be open. So the first thing is to love yourself, self-love, right. And to be open to what your body is telling you it needs, right? Sometimes women feel like, I'm strictly dickly, but they have thoughts about, oh, that woman is beautiful. Well, who's to say that you can't express that or explore that? That doesn't mean that you're a lesbian, bisexual, anything. It just means that you have a curiosity, and there are many women who will, who will help you out in that. What?
I want to say college for 1,000, please. In college, moving college, everybody's exploring college. Let's not be weird about it now.
College is exploratory, but depending on how women are raised, their college exploratory becomes at age 40 or 50.
That's right.
Yeah, true. Right. It's very rare, but I've seen a 40-year-old virgin for it. It's very rare. I've seen one. It's very rare. But
look at her background. Is she in church? Was she abused? Was she?
Exactly.
There's a lot of reasons why.
Right. Absolutely.
I grew up in the church, but it can be a very restrictive place for women to be women, and that's a whole nother conversation. But depending on where they grew up, their family environment, they may not have been given the permission to be in their divine alignment as women.
Right.
And so, but tip overall is self-love, however that looks like for you.
Yep.
It doesn't have to necessarily mean masturbation. It could mean doing better self-care. It could be buying, doing a whole new, makeover, whatever makes you feel good, that will take you outside of what you're used to doing. Right. And so that, telling yourself, I love you, Jackie. I love you. Looking at yourself in the mirror every day. I love you. You have to be the first person to love yourself. True. No one else can do that for you but you. So
I got one question on Instagram. A young lady said, what do you do about peer pressure when your counterpart pressure you to have sex when you don't really want to have sex? Like, how do you counteract that?
That is unhealthy. That is control.
Right.
That is manipulation. Evaluate where you are with this person to determine whether or not you need to leave, because no one should make you feel like you need. No one should make you do something outside of what your comfort level is.
Yeah, and let me just add on to that, because they want it. That's selfishness too. It's not just manipulation. That's selfish.
That is selfish.
If you won't care about me, you know what I mean?
Right. You could be putting yourself in harm by doing something because your man wanted you to do it, and then you either come back with a disease, a virus. That person, he may leave you for that other person, and that's not what you signed up for, right?
Or he may get used to it by just saying, I want this.
You've opened the door. You've opened the door. Yeah.
Not healthy at all. Last, I know we're running out of time. We appreciate you being on the show with us and giving some of those great tips.
Thank you for having
let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Yes, absolutely. So I am on Instagram and Facebook, Mirrored Vision Coaching. And you can email me at Jackie, JACQUIE at mirroredvisioncoaching.com. And my website is www.mirroredvisioncoaching.com.
Listen, we thank you for being on the show with us.
Thank you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Have a great day.
Have a great day now.
You too.
Bye.
I told you had a banger, man.
Oh, we always had a banger.
You had a banger.
We was talking about sex, son.
Hey, man.
That wasn't even the Salt and Pepper song. That was real talk.
Real talk right there.
That's definitely all good. Listen, we want to thank Jacqueline for coming on the show with us, man, and impartaking her knowledge to us, especially for us in our community, and being able to first shape our minds and start to be able to create safe places where we can explore some of those things and answer some of those questions. So we definitely appreciate her.
That is true. And I learned more things about women changes also, especially the menopause, over that. Most people don't know about that. We don't know about that, George. We don't know. We learned a little bit.
I know about it. Me and my wife are the same age. I know. She's close. I know.
Yeah, good point. I forgot you married.
That's right. 20 some odd years, brother.
Hey, you learned something, right?
you learn a lot.
I learned a lot. I ain't gonna lie, I learned a lot there. I'm good. I learned a lot there.
Well, anyway, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in.
One thing, George.
What?
Did you hear the announcement?
No.
Mayweather finna fight Jake Paul. Come on, you haven't heard that one.
Is it Jake Paul or his brother?
No, his brother. The one, Jake Paul. The other one. The one that got to fight with the other guy. The brother, not the other one, not the crazy one. The other one, the oldest one, I think.
Oh yeah, I know. I heard that already.
You ain't saying nothing. Report put on Real Talk. You got to
put on Real Talk for ESPN broke it.
We make a second, dog. We'll make a second in.
You know what I mean? But it's definitely all good. Definitely looking forward to that. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fraze.
And that was Real Talk with George and Frazier. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.